You know what the worst thing in relationships is? It's not even betrayal. It's habit. The habit of enduring those who don't value you, who for years exploit your kindness, your time, your resources, giving you only indifference or even mockery in return. I've been through this myself. There were people I considered friends, whom I helped, bailed out, supported. And then I suddenly realized, to them, I was just a convenient option. Today, we'll break down 7 tough, but practical methods for dealing with those who don't appreciate you. This isn't just theory. This is what really works in our realities, where thank you is often forgotten, and kindness is taken for granted. We live in a society where enduring is considered almost a virtue. Don't hold a grudge, forgive, he's a good person. Well, we have to live somehow. Sounds familiar, right? But here's the problem, the more we endure, the less they respect us. And these aren't just my words. Carl Jung said, "What you do not bring to consciousness controls your life." And if you've ignored your feeling of being undervalued for years, that's not humility, it's self-deception. Sooner or later, it spills over into resentment, depression, or even illness. So, let's break down all the methods and strategies for dealing with those who don't value you to significantly improve your life. Step 1. The simplest and hardest simultaneously. Simply stop being available. This method is called stop contact. Stop giving them bonuses. Stop doing what makes you convenient. Cancel help, gifts, emotional support. Often, people only start valuing you when they lose their usual privileges. Don't text them first. Don't call just because. And, naturally, don't offer them help without them asking. Tested. 80% of such people won't even notice your disappearance. Those who do notice will start behaving differently. Take back your convenience. Were you used as a free taxi? Say, "Sorry, can't today," without explanations. Were you emotionally used as a shoulder to cry on? Stop being a free therapist. Were you only called when they needed something? Now you must be forever busy. And, as I said, 80% of these people won't even notice your disappearance. They'll just find another convenient person. And that's an excellent filter. Now you know exactly who didn't value you. The remaining 20%, those will ask, what happened? You disappeared. With them, you can work. Maybe they'll genuinely start respecting you. The point is, people only value what they can lose. As long as you're always available, you're like air to them, invisible but necessary. As soon as you disappear, they either start gasping and begin to value you, or they find other air, and then you truly have nothing to regret. And if it seems to you like this is manipulating people, no, it's setting boundaries. If a person truly values you, they'll notice your absence. If not, well, that means you've simply freed up space for those who will genuinely value you. Method 2. Take their behavior and compare it to how they treat others. Let's do a simple experiment. Remember how this person communicates with those they truly respect. With their boss, polite, attentive, always responsive. With important people, smiles, engages in conversation, is punctual. And with you, replies in monosyllables, forgets things important to you. Now ask yourself one question. Would my friend or partner behave this way with someone they respected? If the answer is no, then it's not your fault, but their choice. It's not that you're too demanding. It's that they consciously choose how to treat you. Why does this method work? It's simple. You stop deceiving yourself. Before, you might have justified it. Well, that's just how he is. Maybe I did something wrong. Now you see the truth. With others, they behave differently, meaning they can, but with you they won't. You switch to cold calculation instead of emotion. Hurtful, yes, but now you have facts, not guesses. As Jung said, What is not brought to consciousness controls us. What is brought to consciousness is under our control. Simply stop expecting such people to change. If a person can be attentive, but doesn't do it for you, that's a conscious choice. Start spending your energy on those who reciprocate. In Russia, they often say, a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but if the bird in hand is a person who doesn't value you, maybe it's better to let go altogether and look for those who will genuinely be glad to have you. I used to think just a little more, and they'll understand how important I am to them. But then I saw how these same people literally transformed around those who were cooler than them. And then it hit me. It wasn't that I wasn't good enough for them. It was that they weren't good enough for me. Since then, I apply a simple rule. If a person puts you last in their life, don't put them even in a small corner of yours. Ever noticed how differently people behave with you and with others? Write in the comments. Let's discuss. I'd love to hear your story. Method 3. The quiet exit. Distance yourself without unnecessary words, and you know what's strangest? The more we try to explain to people that they're hurting us, the less they understand. They either don't believe it, come on, you're imagining things. Get angry, what? Are you offended? How touchy you are. Or pretend to understand, only for everything to repeat a week later. So now, I'll tell you about the most powerful, yet quiet way to make a person realize they're losing you. Without fights, without lectures, without endless let's talk, just start disappearing. Before, say, you texted first, how are you? Now, wait for them to text you. Before, you suggested meeting up. Now, let them do it. Before, you kept the conversation going. Now reply briefly, but politely. You simply stop being an emotional donor. They complain to you about life. Quickly change the subject. Want your advice? Say, I'm not the best advisor on this. Expect you to entertain them. Say, sorry, not in the mood to chat right now. If you are genuinely needed, they will seek contact. If not, they won't even notice your absence. And believe me, this is better than a pointless confrontation or post-mortem. In our countries, there's a bad habit. If someone is hurt, they must explain why. People even try to shame you when they realize they're at fault, saying things like, resentful people haul water, but don't listen to them. Think, would someone who hasn't valued you 4 years truly understand you after one conversation? Didn't they know they were ignoring your feelings? They knew. It was just convenient for them. Silence isn't weakness. It's a test for them. Can they live without your attention? For you, can you live without their indifference? I'll let you in on a secret. Of course you can. Don't be afraid. I had a friend, 14 years of friendship. I was always the first to ask how things were, the first to wish happy birthday, the first to suggest meeting up. One day I decided, enough, and I stopped texting. A month passed, then 2, then a year. He never wrote. And then I understood, it wasn't friendship, it was my illusion. The reality, I was simply forgotten and never remembered. What to do if they do ask, where'd you go? Don't make excuses. Don't say, I was busy. That gives them reason to think you're still hooked. Better reply, just happened that way, and change the subject. Evaluate their reaction. If the person seems genuinely concerned, maybe give them a chance. If they disappear again after your answer, it means they were just curious, not concerned. Carl Jung said that loneliness isn't the absence of people around, it's the absence of understanding. And if, after your quiet exit, the person isn't afraid of losing you, it means they emotionally left your life long ago. Now you have a choice, keep chasing them, or finally turn towards those coming your way. Method 4. The mirror method. Start treating people exactly as they treat you, not rudely, but mirror-like. They don't text you, Don't text them. They don't care about your life. Don't care about theirs. Imagine every person is a mirror. They reflect back exactly what you show them. And if you've endured their indifference for years, it's no surprise. They just got used to not valuing you. But today, we're flipping the script. You become their reflection. How it works, simple. You stop giving more than you get. They text you once a month, reply just as rarely. They forget to ask how are you. Don't ask either. They cancel plans last minute. Now you suddenly have things come up too. Stop being convenient. Did you adapt to their schedule? Now only if it's convenient for you. Did you forgive rudeness? Now, sorry, but you don't talk to me like that. You let them feel what it's like. People grasp the rules of the game very quickly when they're in your shoes. Why is this more effective than just staying silent? In our countries, there's a saying, you reap what you sow, but many forget it works both ways. If someone doesn't call, they don't consider you important. If they don't thank you, they take your help for granted. If they don't support you in tough times, they're only interested in their own gain. The mirror just shows them the truth. I had an acquaintance. We interacted 4 years. I always asked how she was, supported her, helped. She replied when it suited her. One day I decided, okay, now I'll treat her exactly like she treats me. The first month, she didn't notice. The second, she started texting more often. By the third month, she asked, "Why are you so cold?" I replied, "Me. I'm just behaving the same way you do." She got offended at first, then thought about it. Within 6 months, she started calling first. Not always, of course, but much more often than before. Because a mirror doesn't lie, it just shows a person themselves. But if, seeing their reflection, a person doesn't want to change, that's their choice. Your choice is to stop wasting energy on them. Don't get angry. Don't feel guilty. They might accuse you, you've changed. Just reply, "No, I just stopped being the person you were used to taking advantage of." If the mirror doesn't work, it means this person can't see themselves from the outside, which means they'll never change. Jung said, "We meet in others only what is within ourselves," but this works the other way too. If a person sees a friend in you, they'll behave like a friend. If they see a convenient person, they'll use you. Become a mirror, and you'll immediately see who you really are to them. Personally, this method has always worked for me for many years. Have you ever used this method in life? Did it work? Right. Let's discuss. Method 5. The replacement method. Simply replace your people-pleasing with reciprocity. Stop investing in those who don't reciprocate. Stop spending your energy, time, and emotions on those who perceive your kindness as their due. Instead, direct that energy towards people who value you without manipulation. If someone doesn't reciprocate, it's not your mistake, but their choice. But it's you who chooses whether to continue one-sided relationships. Instead of pleasing those who don't appreciate it, focus on the principle of reciprocity. Invest only in those willing to invest in you. This isn't selfishness, it's wisdom. Ask yourself, how often does this person take initiative? Do they remember your needs as well as you remember theirs? Have you become a convenient person they use? Gently push those who take but don't give to the periphery of your life. Redirect the freed up time and energy to people who rejoice in your successes, to activities that bring you joy, to yourself, because you deserve the same care as others. Don't explain or justify. You don't owe anyone an announcement that you've stopped investing. Just act. Become slightly less available. Stop initiating meetings, being the first to help. If they ask for something, sometimes say no, without guilt. Observe the reaction. True relationships will reveal themselves. If a person notices the change and asks what's wrong, that's a chance for an honest talk. If they disappear or get offended, it means they only valued you for what you gave. Understand, one-sided relationships drain you. They're like a black hole. The more you give, the more they expect. Reciprocity creates healthy bonds with respect, gratitude, and genuine happiness for each other. You know, Carl Jung once said, "The most terrible trap for a person is their unconscious relationships." And indeed, have you noticed how often we cling to people who long ago stopped valuing us? We endure their coldness, excuse their indifference, all because we're afraid to face the truth. If someone doesn't reciprocate, it means you're not needed by them. Jung called this the shadow of relationships, where one gives and the other only takes. And you know what's most dangerous? The longer you allow this, the deeper your soul starts to believe that I'm not worthy of more. But here's the truth, your worth doesn't depend on those who don't see it. I repeat, as a psychologist with experience and owner of the channel All Life's Wisdom, if you're not valued, it's not your heart's fault, it's the other person's blindness. Jung suggested a simple algorithm. Acknowledge, does this person genuinely not value me? Or does it just seem that way? Write down 3 examples. Talk not with blame, but observation. I've noticed my efforts go unanswered. Why is that? Act. If nothing changes after the talk, step back. Not with anger, but with dignity. Yes, it hurts, but the pain of parting is nothing compared to years of quiet humiliation. And even if you lose a friend, so what? Jung would say, you don't lose a friend. You free up space for those who will come seriously. Remember, the world is full of people who won't understand you. And that's normal, won't appreciate you. And that's their right. But there are also those who will see the sun in you. And it's for them that life is worth living. As Jung said, the best thing you can do for those who undervalue you is to stop being part of their life, and for yourself, to start a new chapter. Method 6. The open talk method. Talk openly with the person about the problem, face to face. For example, if you've noticed your efforts go unnoticed, it matters to you that this changes. And if the person doesn't react, that's a signal to act from point 3, the quiet exit. Imagine this, you've been helping your neighbor for months, fixing his car, signing documents. But when you need help, he's suddenly very busy. Sound familiar? In our part of the world, I mean Russia, and the former USSR, we often bottle up resentment silently because it's awkward somehow, uncomfortable to speak directly. Then we explode over nothing or take it out on our family at home. I went through this myself, endured 4 years, then just stopped communicating with people who didn't value me. But there's a better way, an open talk. Speak to the person specifically, without generalizations, straight to their face. Let's be clear, if you genuinely don't want to help, tell me honestly. Because it seems like I'm always on standby for you, but you're not for me. After this, there are roughly 3 outcomes among more or less normal people. The person apologizes and corrects their behavior. This means they simply didn't notice the problem. Keep such people in your life. They start making excuses. Come on, I just ... This is a warning sign. They completely don't understand or blame you. Then boldly apply method number 3, distance. Remember what Carl Jung said. What is not brought to consciousness controls us. As long as you stay silent, the situation will repeat. From my experience, when I started speaking directly, without aggression, but also without fawning, about 50% of people genuinely started treating me better. The rest, well, that's their choice. The main thing, don't be afraid. In our countries, people often think you need to endure, but endurance doesn't mean silence. You can and should talk about what bothers you. That's how healthy relationships are built. And if nothing changes after an honest talk, then it's time to act much tougher, but that's for another video. Method 7. The leave without regrets method. Eventually, there comes a time when you need to take the hardest, yet most liberating step. Simply walk away. I remember holding on to relationships for years where I was taken for granted. Like many, I thought, maybe endure a little longer. What if the person changes? And these thoughts wouldn't leave me alone. Until one day I realized, nothing changes. Not after honest talks, not after all attempts to fix things. The person remains the same. This means only one thing, that's how they want it. In our realities, especially in CIS countries, we're all accustomed to some strange sacrificial mindset. Endure for the sake of the relationship, always forgive, who else but you? But Carl Jung said something wise, where there is no reciprocity, there is no real connection, there is only habit and dependence. And to simply leave, you need to know how to leave properly. Without dramatic scenes, you've already said everything in the open talk. Without guilt, you gave the person every chance. With gratitude even for the negative experience, it taught you something. You know, I've walked away from such relationships myself more than once. And you know what's amazing? New people filled the freed up space very quickly, the very ones who valued my time and kindness from day one. Imagine your life is a book. Some characters appear for just one page. Others linger for a whole chapter, but only you decide who stays until the very last page. Don't be afraid to turn the page, friends. Believe me, new chapters always turn out much more interesting than those old ones that were long overdue to be finished. If you're scared to take this step now, just imagine yourself a year from now. How will you remember this moment? With bitter regret that you didn't leave sooner? Or with quiet relief that you finally freed yourself? Choose wisely. You truly deserve better.